prowling the parking lot.
Man was darting in and out of traffic here.
People were concerned it was a mad, crazy clown.
We've all heard about creepy clowns causing trouble, right? But have you ever seen them mess with the wrong people? Well, get ready, because in this video, I'm taking you straight to the scene and showing you some seriously intense encounters between these clowns and the police. 1. Parents leave 4-year-old home alone to scare drivers in clown costumes. For a moment, imagine you were tucked in for the night in Menasha, Wisconsin, but the freakiest thing wasn't even your midnight snack choices. It was clowns. Not just any clowns, but those creepy clowns you see in movies terrorizing the streets. Just another wacky Wednesday, right? Amid this bizarre craze, a couple decided it was the perfect time to join the mayhem, leaving their 4-year-old kid home alone. So early in the AM, dashcam footage caught the action. Cops pulling up after reports of these clowns chasing cars.
Why don't you guys come up to this barrier right here?
They found 2 dudes, aged 29 and 20, decked out in full clown horror show gear, just hanging by the road. Spooky much? The clowns got grilled but walked free, while Mr. 29-year-old and his 26-year-old wife, aka the getaway driver, weren't so lucky. Cops found out about the lone kid back home, and yep, that was a wrap. They were arrested for neglect. The kid was safe with the Department of Human Services, and as for the parents, they were charged under the glaring lights of a police station at 4 a.m. Across the pond, British cops were having none of it, warning that clowning around might just land you behind bars. Seems like this creepy clown thing was no joke after all. 2. Hazel Park police arrest 2 men for clown prank. Cruising through the early morning darkness, you might have been hitting up McDonald's drive-thru for some grub or swinging by the Mobile on 9 Mile, only to have your heart jump out of your chest thanks to some clowns.
21-year-old Deontay Wiley of...
These guys were out to scare the daylights out of you. Yup, it was 2016, and this wasn't your average prank. Hazel Park's finest had to swoop in around 4:30 a.m. on October 11th after panicked 911 calls flooded in. There was someone in a clown mask terrorizing folks just trying to get their morning coffee. Enter the pranksters, Deontay Wiley, 21, from Clinton Township, and Aaron Williams, 22, from Detroit. Wiley was the one with the mask, getting his kicks by freaking out drivers. Williams? He was the getaway driver in this circus show.
Scaring people.
Cops caught up, pulled them over, and what did they find? A clown mask, open booze, and a couple of guys with more legal issues than a daytime drama. Wiley was juggling an outstanding warrant, and Williams was cruising on a suspended license with warrants to boot. Charges were slapped down: disorderly conduct, open intoxication, and driving no-nos. Bail? A cool $25,000 each. Now, police were piecing together more of this clown caper, hoping to snag some video evidence. 3. Creepy clown has firearm pulled during prank. There's Sadiq Muhammad, right? A 20-year-old prankster with a cool 6.7 million followers glued to his antics on Instagram and hood clips. The guy's a hit, but his latest gag nearly cost him big time. One Monday, he was out at a Taco Bell drive-thru, then switched up his playground to a local basketball court.
Random people in Stockton.
Classic Sadiq, until he popped out of the bushes and gave a dude such a scare that he was staring down the barrel of a firearm. You can bet Sadiq wasn't laughing then. The guy was too shocked to even run. He spilled the beans that it was all a prank, thinking it was his ticket out of not getting shot. Lucky for him, it worked. Now, here's where it got tricky. Sacramento attorney Cresta Daly weighed in, saying you can defend yourself, but pulling a firearm on a prankster, especially after he's bailed? Not cool, not legal, moral of the story? Sadiq and his cameraman didn't stick around to test their luck further. They hit the road fast and never looked back. Sadiq's takeaway? Ditch the clown gigs. 4. Bungling thief cries after being trapped and beaten. Just another day in Concepcion, Chile, where you might think the biggest risk on a bus ride is missing your stop. But not when Pablo, a well-known petty thief with a knack for trouble, decided it was his lucky day to snatch a lady's handbag. Not once, but twice, because the first time he joked it off when he bungled the grab. Classic Pablo move. But here's where the plot thickened. Our bus driver wasn't just any bus driver. Nope, he had eyes like a hawk and reflexes to match. As Pablo tried to make a break for it, bam! The bus door slammed shut, trapping his arm in a vice grip of poetic justice. What's a thief to do? Cry, plead, and pull the old "she's my aunt" excuse, while the driver, now doubling as a vigilante, swung a baseball bat with the finesse of a major leaguer. And oh, he swung, laying down the law one whack at a time, all while declaring his bus a no-clown zone in fluent Spanish. By the time they rolled up to the next stop, the cops were there, ready to take Pablo off his hands. 5. Creepy clown in trouble for scaring shoppers. Imagine you're just cruising through a parking lot and bam, a bloody clown with a fake meat cleaver is tapping at your window.
It's a terrifying scene. A masked man chasing down.
Welcome to Oak Ridge North, where apparently scaring folks half to death is just another marketing tactic. Crystal Jones and her son Grayson sure didn't find it funny when this devilish clown, aka Alan Henry, tried to jimmy their car door open. Scare up business? More like stir up a nightmare. Crystal wasn't having any of it and filed a complaint quicker than you can say boo. The cops got involved and slapped our misguided Meister Henry with a disorderly conduct citation. Lieutenant Tom Libby weighed in, saying maybe the clown's heart was in the right place, but his head, not so much. Meanwhile, the social media wires were hot with other parents chiming in, sharing tales and even videos of their encounters with the rogue clown outside a Halloween Express store. Henry, doubling down, insisted the police overreacted. He vowed to hang up his cleaver and stick to less terrifying sales tactics. But Crystal? She was firm on one thing: keep the horror in the store and out of the parking lot. 6. Police officer, clown brawl outside City Hallin. You think you've seen it all? Think again. There was a man, but no ordinary man.
A man dressed as a clown.
This one was dressed up as a clown, right in the heart of Milwaukee. And he wasn't just standing around. He was brawling with a cop of all things. This wasn't just a circus act gone wrong, it was a full-on street showdown caught on camera. Welcome to the bizarre world of Kenneth Crowkunis, the clown in question. This guy wasn't just hanging out, he was in the street with a toy firearm, hollering at cars and blaring a faux police siren through a bullhorn. Things really kicked off when the cops showed up, and Mr. Clown didn't exactly greet them with a balloon animal. Nope, when they tried to slap the cuffs on him, Crowkunis wasn't having any of it. He tried to make a break for it, leading to a scuffle that left the officer with a torn jacket and a few battle scars to show off back at the station. Charges? Oh, they came all right. Resisting an officer and disorderly conduct. 7. Dartmouth Cop's Clown. Massachusetts got a taste of the creepy clown saga, and Dartmouth police weren't having any of it. They dropped a rib tickler of a PSA, giving residents a heads up. Clowning around could land you in cuffs. A cop rolled up to a park, and a mom rattled off about a guy decked out in blue overalls and a green shirt who had her kids spooked. It turned out the dude was masquerading as a clown. But when the officer confronted him, it wasn't just one cop, but a whole clown car's worth that tumbled out to face him. Their message? It wasn't about what one clown was going to do, it was about what the police squad, as a unit, would do. Dartmouth PD was clear: stir up trouble in a clown suit and you were going down. They tossed out warnings like hotcakes, disturbing the peace, trespassing, you name it. And they weren't alone. Down in Florida, Palm Bay PD echoed the vibe, reminding everyone that seeing a clown could set off real panic, thinking they were being robbed or worse. Their bottom line? Play the clown, and you might just get a reality check from the business end of a firearm. 8. Man dressed as clown arrested in Newnan. Rodney Allen Byram, decked out in full clown garb, caused a stir in the Newnan Walmart parking lot. Straight out of Alabama, Byram got slapped with a disorderly conduct charge. Why? Apparently, turning a parking lot into a circus act wasn't as funny as he thought. Cue the body cams as the cops rolled up to handle the spectacle. Meanwhile, local shopper Ashley Glass, who had been seeing clown shenanigans all over social media, thought it was all fun and games until Byram showed up. She snapped pics and dialed 911 because, let's face it, creepy clowns are no joke when they're getting up in your face with rude gestures. Byram tried to play it cool, claiming he was just messing around. But hey, not everyone was laughing. Other shoppers backed up Glass, and just like that, Byram's next gig was behind bars at Coweta County Jail. Police Chief D.L. Meadows wasn't having any of it either. He laid it down. These pranks weren't just harmless fun. They were a ticket to chaos, tying up cops who had better things to do than chase clowns. 9. Clown suspect arrested after 27 years. It was a sunny morning in 1990, and you were just chilling at home when suddenly a clown showed up at your door, not with balloons, but with a firearm. That's exactly what happened to Marlene Warren. The main suspect? Her husband, Mike Warren. Why? Well, it turned out Mike could cash in big time from her untimely demise. Fast forward a few hours after the murder, and an anonymous tipster was already throwing Mike's name into the mix, along with Sheila Keene, one of his employees. Oh, and did I mention the whispers around town about their not-so-secret affair? Things got even spicier when cops found a clown costume and some suspiciously orange fibers at Sheila's place. Talk about a bad hair day. But here's the kicker. No one got arrested until 2017. By then, Mike and Sheila had tied the knot and were playing house in Virginia. New DNA tech came into play, and bam, Sheila was in cuffs for Marlene's murder. Mike? He was still at home, denying everything from the get-go and claiming all he had left was love for his stepson Joe Aarons, who was out there wishing for justice but keeping Mum on Mike's antics. 10. Dashcam footage of trooper being punched. Imagine you were a Florida Highway Patrol officer just doing your job on a sunny day along I-4. You pull over a guy, and the next thing you know, you are dodging punches instead of traffic. That's exactly what went down near Exit 5, where 24-year-old Alexander Hernandez Delgado, a self-proclaimed artist recently booted from his mom's place, turned a routine traffic stop into a roadside rumble. Caught on dashcam, the scene unfolded as Delgado, initially just a guy with a backpack walking the highway, turned hostile. He was stopped, and things escalated quickly after he was asked to be searched. Delgado wasn't having it. He snapped, landed a solid punch on the trooper's face, and made a break for it, fists still flying. But here's where it got good. Several passers-by saw the scuffle and jumped into the fray, helping the trooper regain control. Meanwhile, Delgado ended up with just a scratch on his chin, while our trooper sported a bloodied nose. 11. Suspect attacks cop with a weapon. An NYPD officer responded to a call on Roosevelt Island, not expecting much more than a routine check. But wait, it's never just routine, is it? Out of nowhere, a scene straight out of a horror movie unfolded inside a nondescript apartment building at 540 Main Street. The date? August 5th, 2023. The cast? 3 unsuspecting cops and a knife-wielding maniac, all crammed in an elevator. The twist. The guy wasn't just holding a knife, he was charging with it. Body cam footage showed the guy going full psycho mode on the officers. One brave female officer tried to tase him, but no dice, it didn't fire. Her partners? They opened fire, over a dozen rounds. But our knife guy? Still swinging, even on the floor. 12. Florida man strikes officer with stolen car in high-speed chase that ends in swamp. Heading down to Florida, you'd expect sunshine and beaches, not carjackers and cop dramas. But guess what? It was Florida. Wild stuff just happened. So there was this guy, Elijah Aman Mahdi Bulk, 20, chilling in a stolen car like it was a rental. The location? Outside an apartment complex in Daytona Beach, no less. Port Orange police spotted him, body cams rolling. Drama was about to unfold. With a firearm or taser out, an officer was like, "Step out, man!" Bulk? He wasn't having it. When the cop tried the passenger door, Bulk hit reverse, knocking the cop down, then sped off. Cops were now on a high-speed chase. One tried to cut him off. Bam! Collision. The chase ended with Bulk's car spinning out. Cops swarmed, yelling for him to surrender. Bulk bolted, lost a shoe, and dived into a wooded area, only to be rugby tackled into a swamp. There he was, cuffed in the mud, whining about twigs and begging to be freed. 13. A citizen tackles suspect who was running from police. When you're heading out to grab a coffee and maybe catch the news, the last thing you expect is to end up tackling a fugitive on the run. But welcome to Oklahoma, folks. You never know what's around the corner. This wild scene unfolded as the Tulsa Police Department shared body cam footage on Facebook. Real popcorn material. It was 11:30 a.m., and there was Miguel Fernandez, a guy with a rap sheet longer than your arm, bolting from the cops. He tried the old wrong name trick, but when the heat turned up, so did his heels. Enter our hero, just a regular Joe in an orange shirt, cruising down Denver Ave. This guy didn't just watch the action, he became it. He ditched his pickup, charged at Fernandez, and nailed him to the sidewalk like a pro. The whole takedown was caught on camera. Pure gold. 14. Florida man steals 2 police cars. During chase, in sunny Florida, the land of gators and oranges, but also, apparently, grand theft auto. Cop style. Xavier Javon Cummings, 33, decided it was a bright idea to steal not 1, but 2 police cruisers, sparking a wild police chase across multiple counties. Now, if that didn't scream Florida, what did? Cummings, sporting quite the rap sheet with charges like motor vehicle theft and possession of a firearm by a felon, was now chilling behind bars. No bond in sight. And his legal help? Might as well have been a ghost, because the public defender's office kept mum. The madness kicked off in Cocoa, where the cops were called for a ruckus at a hotel. Cummings didn't just flee, he fled in style, in a cop car no less. The pursuit zoomed north on I-95, with the Volusia County Sheriff's team hot on his heels, eventually nudging his stolen ride into the woods. But did this guy stop there? Nope. He jumped into another cop SUV and hit the gas again. Along for the ride? A hefty can of police mace and worries about a firearm possibly left in the ride. 15. Man, impersonating police officer, arrested. A dude in Central Florida was cruising down Interstate 4 on his motorcycle, decked out like he was the law himself. Meet Jeremy DeWeet, a guy with a knack for pretending to be a cop. It was around 9:45 p.m. when Orange County's finest spotted him and his crew, all dressed in yellow polos with badges screaming Protection Officer, Motor Unit, and Metro State Protection Services. But DeWitt was rocking a getup that would make any Halloween costume jealous. A bulletproof vest, a belt full of gadgets right out of a cop drama, and wait for it, a fake firearm. The only guy in the group bold enough to openly carry a firearm, and it was all for show. So, the deputies pulled him over, not buying the charade for a second. Turns out, the firearm was just a fancy pepper spray dispenser with the magazine emptier than a promise. DeWitt's excuse? He used it to make folks think twice before messing with him. Too bad he was a convicted felon, which made this stunt a no-go in the eyes of the law. 16. Man in handcuffs steals police car. This guy, cuffed and seemingly down on his luck, hijacked a state trooper's cruiser. This wasn't just any joyride. The man with a plan, Anthony Alfonso Sanchez III, went full Hollywood stuntman, barreling down the highway and smashing into other cars like it was a demolition derby. And it was all caught on dashcam. Pure chaos. Cops had him stopped and cuffed, right? They even found a loaded firearm in his ride. But Sanchez, he wasn't giving up that easily. Tears up, he flipped his cuffs to the front, slipped into the driver's seat, and it was pedal to the metal. 17. Detroit cop fights off two men trying to steal his firearm at gas station. Two youngsters decided it was a good day to try and snatch a firearm off an off-duty cop. Yeah, because why not stir up some drama at the local gas station? Police Chief James White spilled the beans on this caper, revealing the action went down near Southfield Freeway. The suspects, just minors, had their attorney by their side when the cuffs snapped shut. As for details, zipped, nothing more from the chief. Our cop, casually gearing up for a Taylor Swift gig, was ambushed while he was just trying to pay for his gas at around 5:30 p.m. The scene got intense when one of the young guys, wielding a 9mm Glock, went for the officer's firearm. A struggle ensued. No shots fired, though. Our officer kept it cool and regained control of his weapon, all while a firearm was pointed straight at him. 18. Man arrested for impersonating police officer in Whitehall. Casey Donovan Williams, a 26-year-old ex-corrections deputy from Pickaway County, thought he could pull a fast one in Whitehall by playing cop for real. It was April 8th, 2021, and there was Williams, sacked out in his Crown Victoria, which he tricked out with police lights, parked on Collingwood Avenue. The dude was claiming he was an off-duty officer working some special gig to rake in extra cash. Spoiler alert. No such job existed. Cops rolled up and found our man deep in dreamland. When they woke him, Williams spun this yarn about being on the job, only he wasn't on any job. He had no badge worth a dime, just some fake sheriff's bling, a vest screaming police, and a duty belt loaded with gear, firearm included. Oh, and let's not forget the AR-15 style rifle and more cop cosplay gear in his ride. 19. A suspect grabs an officer in the headlock. A regular traffic stop on February 9th in Yucaipa turned into a scene straight out of an action movie, all caught on police body cam. Here's the rundown. Fontana officers, in cahoots with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, pulled over Alan A. Metka, a 56-year-old with a rap sheet that read like a crime novel. They were just checking for traffic violations when things went south. Fast. The stop started chill, with the female officer chatting up Metka while her partner did the routine background check. But in a heartbeat, it flipped. The partner heard a cry for help, and there it was on the body cam, a real-life thriller. 20. Off-duty police officers. Out on a date stop attempted robbery. Just when you think a date night in Kentucky would be all about finger-licking chicken at Raising Cane's, leave it to the McKeowns to add a dash of daredevil action to the menu. Chase and Nicole McKeown, both off-duty cops from the Elizabethtown Police Department, were halfway through their dinner in Louisville when a masked man, none other than Justin Carter, decided to turn the place into his personal cash register. It was hitting 10 p.m. when this guy pulled a firearm, making a bold play for the cash. But hey, it wasn't just any night. Our cop couple, married just 6 months, weren't about to let their date get ruined. They spotted Carter's shady moves and leaped into action. Weapons drawn, they chased the wannabe thief out of the restaurant. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more thrilling content, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Your support means the world to me. See you in the next one.